What if her hot and cold behavior isn't random, but a test of your inner strength? Brother, have you ever felt like she's warm one moment and distant the next? One day, she's all smiles and affection. The next, she's cold, silent, and withdrawn. You're left confused, questioning, and doubting yourself. But what if I told you this isn't about you being not enough? What if her behavior is a mirror, reflecting your own need for validation? This is not a game she plays. It's a test of your foundation. The trap of chasing approval. Society tells you to chase, to prove your worth, to win her over with gifts, texts, and constant attention. But this path leads to exhaustion and emptiness, because when you seek her approval, you lose your own. You become a shadow of yourself, always reacting, never leading. True strength isn't in pursuit, it's in presence, the power of detachment. Detachment isn't about being cold or indifferent. It's about standing firm in your purpose, regardless of her actions. When you detach, you create space. Space for her to feel your absence. Space for her to reflect on your value. Space for you to grow and focus on your mission. In that space, attraction is born. Building a life of purpose. Your life should be rich and full, with or without her. Pursue your goals. Cultivate your passions. Surround yourself with growth and positivity. When your life is abundant, you're not dependent on her mood swings. You become the mountain, steady, strong, and unshakable, and she will be drawn to your stability. Emotional mastery, the Stoic way. Feelings are natural, but reactions are a choice. When she pulls away, don't panic. When she returns, don't overindulge. Maintain your center. Respond with calmness. Lead with clarity. This emotional mastery is the essence of Stoic strength. Become the man she can't ignore. Brother, her hot and cold behavior is not a challenge to chase. It's an invitation to rise, to become the man who doesn't waver, who doesn't seek validation, who lives with purpose and passion. When you embody this, you won't need to chase her. She will find her way to you. Because true attraction isn't about games, it's about gravity. And you, grounded in your power, become irresistible. What if her silence isn't a rejection, but a signal to rise? Listen, brother. When she goes cold, when she disappears for hours or days, most men crumble. They beg, they chase, they try to fix something that isn't even broken. But you must see this for what it is. It's not about what she says. It's about what you do next. She's not pulling away because she wants more from you. She's pulling away because she wants more from herself. And she needs to see if you can handle the distance without falling apart. When you chase, you choke the energy. Imagine a fire that needs oxygen to grow, but if you smother it, if you hover, press, and overgive, it dies. The same is true with attraction. You're taught that more effort equals more results. But women are not machines. They're not problems to solve. They're energy. And your job is to hold your frame while the storm passes. Your mission is your oxygen. If you keep running toward her every time she steps back, she'll feel it. Desperation. But if you take that moment to dive deeper into your purpose, to build your body, your vision, your skills, to sharpen your mind and elevate your soul, you become magnetic, not because you want her, but because you don't need her. And that's where power is born. Let her miss you. You are not supposed to be on call like a servant. You are a man, a leader, a king in the making. When she feels your presence and then your absence, she reflects. She wonders, why isn't he chasing? Why do I feel this emptiness when he's gone? That curiosity creates desire. That space builds value, not because you ran, but because you stood still, with strength. Never apologize for prioritizing yourself. Most men are afraid to choose themselves. They fear being called selfish or distant. But hear this: if you always give and never receive, if you always show up and she never meets you halfway, then you are training her to take you for granted. But when you choose your mission first, you set a powerful boundary. And boundaries are attractive. Boundaries are masculine. Because women don't want a man who chases. They want a man who leads. She returns to the man who returns to himself. She will go hot and cold. She will test the waters. She will search for cracks in your spirit. But if you stay rooted, if you let the silence teach you, if you let the distance sharpen you, then you'll discover a deep truth. You never needed her to feel whole, but she will crave the man who feels whole without her. What if her mixed signals aren't confusion, but calculated instinct? Brother, hear this loud. Her hot and cold behavior is not random. It's not confusion. It's not broken. It's a test. She is watching, not what you say, but who you are when she shakes the table. Do you react or do you remain? Do you cling or do you conquer? This is not a game. This is ancient. It's female instinct. She must feel your strength, not your sweetness. She doesn't want you to chase. She wants to feel your gravity. The world told you to prove yourself, to be nicer, to buy gifts, to show how much she means. But what does that do? It flips the scale. You become the seller. She becomes the prize. But real men don't chase trophies. They become the mountain. And a mountain does not run after anyone. A mountain makes the world move around it. Women test to feel safe, not to be cruel. Listen closely. When she gets cold, when she pulls back, when she goes quiet, she's not always trying to hurt you. She's watching. She wants to know, can this man hold steady when emotions rise? Because if you lose yourself every time she changes, if your heart trembles because her tone did, then how can she trust your strength when real storms come? A woman may love your kindness, but she respects your composure, and respect builds attraction. Every time. The weaker you act, the more she pulls away. She may say she wants a man who listens, a man who opens up, a man who shares his heart fast. But if you do that before she's earned it, if you spill too much too soon, she feels the imbalance. She won't say it, but she'll feel it deep in her body. Something will tell her, this man puts me above himself. That's not strength. That's weakness. And slowly, she will retreat. Not because she's cruel, but because the energy no longer pulls her in. You must train her nervous system to associate you with peace. Every man she's met before you brought chaos, insecurity, neediness. But you must be different. You are calm when she's loud. You are still when she shakes. You are grounded when she vanishes. And because you don't chase, she feels something powerful. Safety. Not from control, not from words, but from your being. Her mind may play games, but her body follows power. Her words may confuse you. Her signals may twist and turn, but her soul follows strength. Her body obeys calm power. And the man who rises from the ashes, the man who no longer reacts to her storms, becomes the man she begs to return, not because he played games, but because he finally stopped chasing the storm and became the sky. What if her distance isn't rejection, but an invitation to rise? Brother, what if I told you this? When she pulls away, she's not pushing you out. She's pulling you up. She's inviting you to become something deeper, stronger, wiser. But most men fail this test. Why? Because they chase, they panic, they beg, they bleed for attention, and in doing so, they lose the one thing she truly wanted. A man who doesn't flinch. The moment you need her, you lose her. You think needing her makes her feel loved. It doesn't. It makes her feel smothered. It makes her feel pressure. Because women don't want to be oxygen. They want to breathe your presence. Need is heavy. It drains. But presence is light. It uplifts. A man who doesn't need her becomes the man she needs to be near. She wants to feel your center, not your chaos. When she's cold, she's searching, not for your attention, not for your panic. She's searching for your center. Can she feel the same man? Whether she's close or distant, whether she loves you or tests you, because the man who stays centered, who keeps his power when her warmth fades, that man becomes rare, valuable, magnetic, not because he tries, but because he is. Emotional distance makes room for attraction to return. Here's the truth. Most won't tell you. Women get tired when a man is always there. Always texting, always pouring. It sounds cruel. But it's not. It's biology. It's nature. Attraction needs space, just like fire needs air. Too close and you smother it. Too far and it fades. But the man who can create just enough distance, the man who can hold his frame and let her miss him, that man doesn't need to ask for love. He becomes the one she reaches for. Don't fight for her emotions. Lead your own. You don't win this by arguing. You don't win by proving. You win by leading. Lead yourself. Lead your energy. Lead your peace. When her energy is chaos, you stay clear. When her love fades, you stay full. When she withdraws, you go deeper into purpose. This is not silence. It's strategy. It's sovereignty. You must be a king without a queen. You are not her puppet. You are not her toy. You are a builder, a leader, a king. And a real king does not lose sleep over mood swings. He does not beg for attention. He does not sell his crown for comfort. He walks, he works, he waits, and when he does, she comes back with fire in her eyes. Not because he chased, but because he never left himself. She's not testing your love. She's testing your foundation. You keep wondering why she switches up. One moment warm, the next cold. But here's what you're not seeing. She's not confused. She's testing you, not to destroy you, but to reveal you. She wants to see what you're made of, not in words, but in how you respond when she turns away. Because when her love feels shaky, she watches to see if your center is still solid. A woman's storms reveal a man's roots. She doesn't need perfection. She needs presence, calm, strength, stillness. And sometimes she'll create a little chaos just to see if you collapse. That hot and cold, it's not always about her emotions. It's about how strong you are when the winds change. Will you crumble? Will you chase? Or will you stand tall like a mountain? Unshaken, unmoved, unbothered. Because that stillness, that's what pulls her back. Stop reacting. Start ruling. Every time you react to her silence, her shift, her change, you teach her this. You are controlled by her emotions. But every time you hold your line, keep your rhythm, live your mission, you teach her this. You are controlled by your purpose. And that, my brother, is when she starts chasing, not because you tried to win her, but because you were already one within. She wants to feel your world is bigger than her. A woman doesn't want to be your only son. She wants to feel like she's orbiting a man with his own sky. So when she pulls away, let her. Don't panic. Building, train, work, create. Show her through your actions that your world never shrinks just because she leaves the room. You were a man before she came. You'll be a man if she walks. That's what brings her back. Not your words, not your pain, but your power. Emotional distance is a gift if you use it right. Don't beg to close the space. Use it. Use it to rise, to sharpen, to remember who the hell you are. Because when she's silent, the real question is, can you still hear your voice? That's the only voice that matters. That's the voice she fell for in the first place. The man who leads himself, leads her heart. She's not hot and cold to hurt you. She's hot and cold because she's trying to feel safe. Safe in your calm. Safe in your power. Safe in your direction. And if you stay rooted, centered, focused, she will come back. Not with confusion, not with games, but with respect in her eyes and devotion in her energy, because she'll know. You are the rarest kind of man, the one who doesn't need her to be whole, yet makes her feel complete. The moment you start chasing, she stops feeling it. Let me tell you the truth. No one dares to say out loud. The second you start chasing her energy, she stops feeling yours. Not because she's cruel, not because she's broken, but because you're now acting like a man who's lost his power. And deep down, she doesn't trust that. Women follow energy, not words. You can say all the right things. You can write long messages, pour out feelings, give gifts, offer love. But if your energy says, I need you to feel okay, she feels it. And what happens? She gets cold. She gets distant. She gets turned off. Not because she wants to hurt you, but because her instincts don't lie. They sense when your masculine fire has turned into fear. A man who needs nothing attracts everything. You don't win a woman by needing her. You win her by not needing anyone to feel whole. That's what flips her instincts on. That's what makes her think, who is this man? Why is he not chasing me? Why is he not begging? Why is he so calm? It drives her crazy in the best way. Because now she feels the mystery, the weight, the pull of your energy. You've become a mountain again, still, strong, silent, but powerful. Don't argue, don't explain, just walk in peace. A hot and cold woman wants you to feel lost in her waves. But if you're truly anchored, you don't even flinch. You don't chase her mood. You don't match her chaos. You don't explain your worth. You just live your life like a man on a mission and let her feel the loss when she creates distance, because she will feel it. She'll feel the weight of your silence, the absence of your fire, the gravity of your calm. And then she'll come back, not because you chased her, but because you didn't. She craves the mystery, not the mess. The moment you become predictable, always available, always explaining, always showing up too fast, you kill the mystery. And when the mystery dies, so does the desire. A real man doesn't explain the storm. He just walks through it. He doesn't argue to prove his value. He shows it in how calm he remains when everything around him is shaking. That's the man she remembers. That's the man she respects. That's the man she returns to. If she's hot and cold, you stay steady. Let her be fire and ice. Let her go in and out. Let her wonder and wander. But you stay steady, focused, centered, rooted in your values, your vision, your purpose. Because that emotional distance she creates, it's not your cue to panic. It's your chance to rise. Stop proving. Start presiding. You're not here to prove you're enough. You are here to remember you already are. She won't come back because you begged her to. She'll come back because your silence made her realize she lost something rare, something grounded, something real. A man who doesn't chase her heat because he is the fire. The moment she feels she's too sure of you, she loses interest. What makes her hot and cold? It's not always games. It's not always manipulation. Sometimes it's just that you became too easy to figure out. You gave her your soul on day one. You made her your world too soon. You forgot the rule. Mystery feeds desire. Certainty kills it. Women feel more when they wonder more. Think about it like this. When you're watching a movie, what keeps you glued? The tension, the questions, the mystery, not knowing what's next. But when a man gives everything up front, when he pours every feeling, gives unlimited access, and never creates space, she stops wondering. She stops feeling. Not because she's ungrateful, but because it's human nature. We desire what we can't fully predict. We crave what we can't totally control. The danger of being too nice, too fast. Many men think they're doing the right thing by being always available. They reply fast. They always say yes. They make her the center. And she smiles. But inside, something changes. She feels too certain, too in control, too safe. And here's the crazy part. When she feels too safe emotionally, she often pulls away because there's no edge, no tension, no power dynamic. You became a fan, not a force. Real men move like kings, not courtiers. A king doesn't chase. A king doesn't explain. A king doesn't give his crown away in exchange for affection. He moves with purpose. He builds. He commands space without a single word. And in doing so, he draws others in. Not by effort, but by essence. Women feel this. They lean into this. Because it's rare. Don't be afraid to let her miss you. Space is not punishment. Absence is not a game. It's the natural side effect of a man focused on his path. Let her feel your silence. Let her sit in her coldness. Let her wonder where your energy went. If you gave too much, too soon, now's the time to return to yourself. Because when she realizes your warmth is not guaranteed, that's when the fire returns in her. That's when she begins to chase. You teach her how to feel about you. Your energy is a teacher. Your behavior is a mirror. If you act like she's the prize and you're the chaser, she believes it. But when you act like your life is the prize, and she can either be part of it or not, suddenly the power shifts. She begins to seek you, to wonder about you, to chase the warmth that's no longer overflowing. You are not a tool for her comfort. Listen closely. You are not here to fix her doubts. You are not here to fill her emptiness. You are not here to chase her out of confusion. You are here to stand strong. And in doing so, you become something she can't forget. Because while other men chase her moods, you remain the mountain, unmoved, unshaken, unbothered. That's how you win the game, by refusing to play it.